would you like to introduce yourself? No, I guess not. So why don't we wait for a few minutes?
Right, we want to let people in on the little secrets for the ending.
The secret to the ending. Yeah, and I'm personally very, very excited for what we're teaching tonight because it's something from Mark. He learned from Robert Dills, who's one of the founders of NLP, who also founded Mouth, who's an extremely smart guy, and really excited for the content, right, Mark?
Yeah, this is it's one of my favorite subjects actually, and it's woven into just about every program that I do uses this element, and even to create the program. I mean, this is Robert Dilts is one of the master modelers, which is one of the key tools of NLP is modeling excellence.
Yeah.
So if you look at people like Tony Robbins have modeled people who are excellent at marketing, people who are excellent at speaking and presenting, and people who are excellent at, doing, mastering whatever their subject is. So
amazing.
That process of modeling is one of the things that Robert Dilts really focused on. And he created a program called Strategies of Genius, where he modeled several famous people that weren't even alive anymore when he modeled them, but he extracted the essence of what they did, but more the context of how they did it rather than the content of what they did.
Amazing. Yeah. So basically the purpose of this seminar is to share what within this very short 60 minutes, share about like kind of overview, give you a experiential experience of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, and other modalities, related, basically to transform your life. So you can kind of experience how it feels like. And if you want to learn more, we can only squeeze so much in this 60 minutes of time frame. So if you want to learn more, wait till the end. We have an offer. We do have live trainings, online trainings available. That's more it's extended version of what we're teaching. So, buckle up, and then we're going to take you to a journey. Hi, Sharman.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Oh, cool.
Hi,
we can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you. That's cool.
Oh, sorry. Did I interrupt?
No. This is an interactive class. So we want you to not just interrupt, but interact.
Yes, interact.
Okay, great. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Good. So tell us a little bit about what brings you here, what you're hoping to gain from this class tonight, and then we'll kind of shape the content around yours.
I'm not sure. I don't know if you recall the conversation we had after the meditation class.
Okay.
Do you recall?
Okay.
So I'm just curious about what this whole hypnosis stuff is about generally.
Okay, cool. So glad that you made it. I have kind of a question that'll lead into what we're going to do tonight. So how useful would it be if you could have a place that you could retreat to anytime that you need to, when the world just gets to be too much, and so that you can reset, recover, come back to yourself, and then return to the world stronger, happier, and more successful than ever before? Would that be useful to you?
Sounds good. Yeah, of course. I think to anybody.
Okay, cool. So really what that is based upon is a vision or the defining purpose that you have for your life, right? When you can align with that, then it kind of, gets rid of the negative talk that's going on in your mind. See, this is actually the first step, but it's the second class in it. So I did the third step first last week. So what we're doing is Robert Dilts created a model of the strategy of how Disney created everything. in his, you know, from Disneyland to Disney World to every Disney movie that's been out there, every Disney product. And the whole concept of Disney is based upon three main areas and then kind of a pseudo fourth area. So the first area is the dreamer. So he created a room that was purely for creating. And all you could do is dream. So anything was possible. And if you had any comments about it, like, oh, I don't know, or, you know, any doubts about it or criticism whatsoever, you had to leave the room. So literally in this room, all you could do is come up with new, innovative ideas. And,
and this was for his employees, you mean, in the company? This was for his employees in the company?
This was the whole model of everything that Disney did, from his own personal life to his vision of the future to how he acted in his company, how they created every Disney movie, how they created every Disney product, how they created every Disney theme park that's out there. Everything Disney based upon this model.
Oh, interesting.
So before they came up with anything, they would have this first room where people would just have like pens and pencils and crayons and markers and paints and anything they could do to just sketch out an idea. And, you know, when they asked Disney what he thought the future was, he says, well, it's kind of way off in the distance and kind of sparkly, right? From way off in the distance and kind of sparkly came Disneyland, Disney World, every Disney film that's out there, from Fantasia to The Lion King, you know, and beyond. You know, so, and you can see how all of that stuff is kind of, you know, from someone who was starting out in the early 40s, 50s, you know, this was kind of way off and sparkly. So it really fulfilled that. And he knew exactly what that meant. Maybe no one else did. But he created basically 3 rooms to create everything. And they weren't always necessarily physical rooms, but they were 3 mindsets. So the first mindset was the creative mindset of coming up with a vision. And they would just create ideas like, hey, I got this idea. Great. Make a picture of it, write it down, capture it, right? And that's all they could do in this room is just capture ideas. So the energy of this room was like, you just walk into the room and you'd start to think of something like, wow, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. You know, I could make this mountain that's like a roller coaster, and it's like, you know, modeled after this mountain in you know, Austria or Switzerland, you know, and but it's a roller coaster and it's a theme ride and it's got all this, you know, great. No concern on how they would actually make it or build it or if it was even practical, just like idea, you know, and they capture that, right? Then Disney would walk around and he'd say, oh, that looks interesting. What is that? And the person would explain to him what the idea is. And he'd grab the idea and them and take them out of that room. And then they'd go in to see the second room, which was called the realist. So there's the dreamer in the first room, the realist in the second room. And what the realist would do is say, okay, so what is this? And he'd say, well, it's this mountain that's like a roller coaster and it's part of a theme park and it's just going to be like a really cool experience. So it's going to look beautiful like this mountain, but then the roller coaster is going to weave in and out of the mountain. And the guy's like, okay, great. So how much is this going to cost to make? You know, what's the first thing we need to do? What's the second thing we need to do? So he'd go through step by step by step, listing out all of the practicalities of turning it into reality. So you get this great and wonderful dream in the first room. The second room you step into, okay, so assuming that this is possible, what would we need to do? Well, we need to sketch it out. We need to come up with an estimate of how much it's going to cost. We need to figure out how we're going to get the funding for it and where we build it, you know, just to start. And then how do we make it safe? How do we make it function right? How do we, you know, how many people can go on it? How much are we going to charge for it? How are we going to make the money back? You know, so all
sounds like the Shark Tank panel.
Yeah. So that's where a lot of this comes from. A lot of this is modeled from this original Disney strategy.
From Disney.
It's a generic model that works for creating things. So the first step is the dreamer. The second step is the realist of how to turn it into reality. And then the third step, which we actually covered in the first session last week, is the critic, right? The critic says, that won't work. You know, no one's going to want to do that. It's not real practical. It's going to cost too much. It's going to, you know, it's going to fail, right?
It's the devil's advocate, right?
Real, you know, like Debbie Downer, right? Like totally opposite of the dreamer. Like the dreamer's got this great and wonderful idea. So here's the challenge that most people run into is they let the critic into the room with the dreamer. Right? So the dreamer goes, hey, I got this great idea. And the critic goes, yeah, but remember that last idea you had that failed?
And shoots
you know,
them
so
down.
Shoots them down before he even has a chance to get it to the realist, right? So we keep going back and forth and back and forth. And I'm reading this great book, which I can't believe I'm reading for the first time. Ariel's read it like 11 times or something like that. Or, you know, it's been out since 2011, but it's a book called Outwitting the Devil. And really that's the devil preys upon that criticism. And I'm not talking about, you know, religious devil, but it's really that negative self-talk becomes that devil within us, and the positive self-talk, the dreamer within us is, you know, that connection to higher power. So
sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's external forces. Like it could be your family. It could be the people that are your friends or whatever the case may be saying, oh, no, you can't do it. And they may be the ones that are the critics that shoot you down. You might be the dreamer, but then it might be an external force as well. And then I guess their words ruminate then in your brain.
Yeah. Right. And they don't even have to be around. Sometimes they might have said something way back when, and then we keep repeating
it goes into
that
subconscious.
In our own head, you know, as if they were there with us, you know? So
that's right.
I guess for me, it's like, you know, we do go to gym, right? You do weight training, right? The only way, one of the best way to test how strong your muscle is to go through the weight, go through the resistance. And I see the external, whatever people talk about, or external, you know, challenges, they're just the weight. They're testing whether your muscle is strong enough or not.
Right.
So here's the thing. First of all, if you reply to the email that you got for this class, and you can just put in it that you want the recording, I made a special recording for the people from last week that helps you to kind of unwind that negative self-talk and turn it into positive self-talk. So today is building upon that. So what we did first was to handle getting rid of the critic, so that now we can allow the dreamer in. And really the essence of that, just to sum it up real quick, is when you take the critic and you turn his criticism into a question, then the critic actually becomes your protector. Because really the intent of the critic is to stop you from failing.
Right. Be a devil's advocate, not really to shoot you down.
Right. Not to be the devil, but the devil's advocate.
Advocate. Yeah.
So it's really its intention is to protect you. It doesn't always pull that off very well. It shoots us down, makes us give up on our dreams sometimes. So that class was about, and you can watch the replay on that, or you can request it, and I'll send you the link if it's not still up. But the thing is to, you know, so once we get rid of the critic and reframe the critic as someone who's our protector, who's going to critique us, and who's going to ask questions that we might not have thought of, right? So we say, okay, I got this great and wonderful dream, and here's my plan on how to turn it into reality. And then the critic comes in and says, well, have you thought about this part? Do you have a plan B if this doesn't work out exactly like that? What's your contingency plan for that? So now by framing it as a question, it's not like, oh, you're going to fail. It's like, well, what if this doesn't work out exactly like that? What are some other ways that you could make it work if this doesn't work out first time? You know, so
then it becomes like the second room.
Right.
More so like the second room,
Yeah. It's like
the tires,
editor, right? So in the world of film, the critic was the guy who did all the editing. It was the cutting room, right? So he would take all of the film that was shot in the creative area, and then he would edit it down to what the actual final result of the film was going to be. So without the editing, there'd be like, you know, every movie out there would be like 7 or 8 hours and no one would watch it.
Right.
There would just be too much stuff in there that wasn't really essential to the film.
Right.
So the critic can be the cutting room where they cut out all the non-essential parts.
Hey, Mark, how do I make my mother into into an editor rather than a critic?
We're not necessarily going to get that personal here.
See, that's the trick.
I
will defer back to last week's class, and will help you ongoing with that.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
You know, people can say whatever they want, but then what you have the opportunity to frame it and to put it into context and to take the useful part of it and negate the rest.
Yeah.
So
yeah, none of it's useful.
It's how you react to what your mother says, not necessarily what she says.
Can I just comment
right, exactly.
the mother thing? Because I have a very critical mother too. Growing up, like nothing.
It's very typical in Asian cultures.
Oh gosh, like nothing came out of her mouth was positive.
Right. Yeah.
From my limited view of world, and then I just recently worked things out with her, and how I did it was because everything was so negative, and eventually I got so fed up. I was like, "Mom, what's the purpose of you saying that?"
Right. Exactly.
And then it came down to, "Oh, I just want you to do well because I worry about you." I was like,
right.
"Oh, that's the purpose. You just really want me to do well." And then that's her way of showing love. And then I just learned it. This is how she's wired. And then once we're clear on the whole purpose, and then we can, finding ways how we can work better, like together. Like, "Oh, Mom, this way doesn't work for me. This works for me. Why don't you try this instead if you care about me?"
So that's a really cool example, because if you look at what you did is you got what her intention was.
Yeah.
So instead of criticism, now what she's doing is trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Right.
She wants you to succeed. That's her intention. So you can put that frame of success around every part of critique that she gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, I gotta hypnotize myself somehow to desensitize myself from her negative comments.
Okay. Well, I can help you with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So really, coming back to this class is really about the first part, even though we're doing it second. So you can understand why we address the critic first, because to bring in the dreamer before we kind of tame the critic a little bit is not as resourceful. So today is really about creating a vision and literally visualizing it, but visualizing it with all 5 of your senses added in, and in such a way that you can have a real experience that you come back to that acts as a resource, so that when you're having a rough day, when someone does try and knock your plan down or criticize you, your dream, your definite purpose in life is so strong that no one can stop. No one's going to stand in front of a fast-moving train. There's too much momentum going. So that's the kind of attraction that you have towards your vision, because it's so clear in your mind what you want. You can feel it in every bone in your body. You can hear your own voice is overriding. Your own inner voice is so positive, so loud, so determined, that all those other critical voices are just kind of like background noise. And literally just that noise, right? You can, if you're in a crowd of people and there's all this noise, but then someone says your name, all of a sudden you hear that out of the noise, right? So in the same way, amongst all that noise, and understanding that a lot of that noise is really just to positively impact you by protecting you, and its intention is good for the most part. The content might not be good, but the context is to protect you. So what you'll find is that you filter most of that out, and you'll hear just the stuff that you need to hear that will help you to further your vision, to further your dream, to stay on track with your vision, your purpose, right? And the more solid you become on it, the more that you really define, this is my purpose, then you start to discover all the nuances of that, and you start to, narrow in until you're like a laser, that this is your purpose. Everything in your life is aligned with that. You're totally congruent with it. and
Yes.
you're authentic, right?
Yes.
And my
Yes.
word for this is you'll start to shine. Your future
Yeah.
looks so bright in your mind that people from the outside can almost see you glowing to the point where it looks like you're shining. And they will have comments about you that it's like, I can't imagine you doing anything other than what you're doing with your life right now, right this moment, being here, doing this. And you'll
Yes.
just feel like, wow, I'm so aligned with my purpose. There's nothing else I could imagine doing. And it's going to be how you view yourself, how you view your life is going to be the same way that others view you and your life. It's totally congruent and aligned and authentic. That
Yes.
who you are has such integrity that it's who you are, and people
Right.
can see.
You're not trying, right?
Right. Yeah. You're
It's
just
just
being.
once you get on a roll, yeah, you're just being, yeah.
Right. So, so the key part of that is to focus in on what you want. So, and that can be a little vague at first, right? Like,
Right.
When Disney had the Dreamer, like people would just come up with ideas, and some of the ideas were good, some of the ideas were terrible, but
Right.
they weren't allowed to judge those ideas until they had them all down on paper, right?
Mm.
And they couldn't do it in the same space as the creative dreamer room. So
Right.
in that space, and for some people, this could be a meditative space. For some people, it could be a hypnotic space. For some people, it could just be like a quiet room. For some people, it could be like while they're taking a shower or taking a walk in the woods, or just some sort of ritualistic thing that determines, okay, this is my space where I dream.
Right.
And I just free flow ideas, and hopefully I have something with me to capture those ideas, either on a piece of paper or maybe in notes in my phone, or just a video recording of myself saying, hey, I got this great idea, or an audio recording. We have so many tools available to us today to capture these ideas that there's almost no excuse to not capture it. Just don't allow the process of capturing it to distract from the actual idea. Like I've come up with great ideas in the shower and almost wanted to run out of the shower and grab my notepad and start writing, furiously, because
it's
the
funny.
idea is so
The lady
fresh,
was saying that the other day as well, and I was listening to the conversation, and she said, if I could just somehow write down these ideas while I'm in the shower, I'd be a millionaire. I came up with so many good ideas. And the guy was telling her, you should get one of those boards and put it up in the shower.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know why, the ideas just come to me while I'm in the shower. And I knew the science behind it. I didn't say anything to her. I guess it's when you're blocking out all the chatter when you're in the shower, and the chatter is just blocked and you're by yourself. It's almost like a meditative state in the shower. And I think that's when the mind is more clear, and then you could hear the more substantive stuff rather than the chatter.
Right. So the point is, you can take that feeling of being in the shower, and you can take it outside of the shower and have it, in a meditation room, or a space that you set up, or it could be someplace in nature even, like by a waterfall, where the external noise is so deafening that it allows you to just have this inner creative voice come out. Whatever the
Mark,
space
I got to tell you something. There are these videos on YouTube that says different things. I mean, if you want X, listen to this video. And then there's maybe like a 10-minute video running of water running really fast and birds chirping, something like that, right? For example, it says, if you want a phone call from so-and-so, listen to this video. And it happens. It works. How does that work?
Well, first of all, it's a hypnotic suggestion, right? So it says, if you listen to this, this will happen, right? So that's pure hypnosis, creating that expectation of, if A, B, and C happens, D is going to happen after that. So in the recording, A, B, and C happens. So of course, D is going to happen after that, right? It kind of sets up the frame of expectation, but you're the one actually creating that to happen by shifting your vibration to align with that you're trying to attract. It's a magnetic vibrational attraction. So when you vibrate at that frequency, it's like turning the dial on the radio to the station that you want to listen to. Right? So you hear jazz music, you turn it to the jazz station, and boom, jazz music's playing, right? So the instructions say, if you turn on the radio and you turn it to this station and raise the volume up, you'll hear jazz music. So you turn on the radio, you turn it to that station, you turn the volume up, and as long as it's not a commercial playing, you'll hear jazz music. Right,
Exactly.
But
I thought it had something to do with shutting out the noise, that water running, the sound of the water running, I thought had something to do with shutting down the chatter in the brain.
Well,
no?
It could very likely do that. You know, for some people, the noise could be too distracting. For some people, silence shuts down that chatter. For some people, being in a certain space So all I'm saying is find that space that works for you. If that video works for you, keep using it. If it doesn't work for you, find something else that works for you. That's the whole purpose of this. But the first part is to determine what is it that you want. So I'm going to ask you straight, you know, what's something that you want in your life?
Which one should I start with? Let's see. I guess the main one, the one that I'm working on right now, like, you know, that I'm going to Dr. Nan, is to get pregnant.
Right.
So that's the main goal.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to frame it first. I've helped a lot of women get pregnant.
You're kidding me.
But not I used to teach birthing classes.
I know, you told me about it.
So Ariel, back off. So you want to get pregnant, you want to have a baby. For what purpose?
For what purpose? It's you know, a lot of people have asked me that as if, like, those critics, or maybe, I don't know if they were the critic or they were the editor, but a lot of people have framed it in a way to say that, oh, I'm just doing this because this child is going to complete me because I'm a woman, or it's like some sort of accessory item that I need simply because I'm a woman, right? But
I'm not asking
I don't think
their opinion of it. I'm asking you, for what purpose? You know, there must be some benefit. I just feel like mind of having a child.
No, it's not a benefit. It's a feeling that I have that I have to have this child, and I can't explain it. It's almost more on a spiritual level that I've been trying to explain to everybody, and I don't think people are understanding what I'm saying. They're saying, "Oh, you're just like imagining things," but this is just something that I feel inside me, that I have to have this child.
Okay. So
and it's a boy.
I want you to imagine this. That's what the purpose of this is. So what I want you to do is imagine it's the day after your baby is born.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Great.
Like, define great.
I feel calm. I feel calm, and a certain peace has come over me. Very calm. Incredibly calm. It's as if like the world around me could be falling apart, but I'm like envisioning myself right now with a child, and it's like everything is just so peaceful and calm. Like I can't even hear anything. Everything is just very, very peaceful.
So that's the feeling that you're going for.
Okay.
And that's a real feeling, right? That peaceful calm, that everything could be going on in the world around you, but you're just in that space of peace and calm.
Yeah.
Right? So what's something else that you'd like to accomplish in your life?
Probably to get my career on track. Because I put it on hold, I closed down my office and everything to concentrate on the baby situation. And I was planning on moving. It was just a lot of things going on. Right.
Okay, so having your career on track, what's the What's the benefit of that for you, having your career?
That will, the only benefit that my career gives me, because I don't feel satisfied anymore by the profession itself, is just the financial security, which I would need if I'm going to have a child as well, because I'll be responsible for the baby.
Okay. So imagine it's a day or a week or a month or a year after you've gotten your career on track. Okay. But some point in the future, after you've gotten your career on track and you're satisfied with your career, you have that financial security. What's that like?
That's not so much like the feeling I have with the baby. This is more a sense of just contentment, just being very content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have a sense of what that is for you, right? That contentment?
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. So what's another another goal or vision, something, a dream you'd like to accomplish?
I'd like to get my personal life in order and find a partner.
Okay. So what's the value of getting your personal life in order and getting a partner? What's the value of that for you?
I think that will just round out everything. Obviously, that's just for me then. You know, the baby is for me in a sense, but I just feel like I have to have this child, and then the work is really just financial security. It's not going to give me any sort of it's not going to give me any sort of contentment as far as you know, the feelings of love and support and all that you need from another individual.
So what's the value to you of rounding out everything and having that love and support? What's the benefit to you?
Well, I'd like to have love in my life that's genuine after, you know, all these disastrous relationships that I've had in the past. So I'd like to have someone that will care for me as much as I will care for them. It's usually just one side of my situation. Okay.
So what's the value of that, of having someone that'll care for you as much as you care for them?
Just being happy. That's basically it. Just being happy.
Okay. Happy's good, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories, John Lennon from the Beatles, right? When he was back in high school, right?
Yeah.
He was a little, what they would call in England, cheeky, right?
Right.
So his teacher asked him, "So John, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And he said, "Happy." And the teacher said, "John, clearly you don't understand the question." And John, in his cheekiness, turned to the teacher and said, "Clearly you don't understand life."
Oh,
exactly.
The teacher's like, "Whoa."
Exactly.
Right? And look at what John Lennon's done with his life. Do you remember the name of that teacher? I don't. But everybody remembers John Lennon, you know? So it's like,
and that song that they had, you know, right? That defines everything in life, I think. What's the name of that song? No, the one about love.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you need is love. I mean, that's basically what this world is missing. A lot of love. And I think if you have that in your life, everything else actually falls into place. So I might have to start.
So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to set something up, right? And this is a process. So anyone who's watching this, we're going to use your content, but really it's about the context of doing this.
Okay.
Because this is a way of installing your future into your timeline in a way that makes it so attractive that all the minutia just gets pushed to the side. You stay so focused on this. You're like that train going down the track at 100 miles an hour. Got so much momentum in your life that you're just magnetically drawn to your vision, to your purpose. This is what your whole life is about. And even that critical voice, you're only going to take the parts of that that support this, right? The realist is,
Okay.
you know, when we get into that next week, the realist is going to come up with all the action steps and all the plans that need to make this happen. So you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen now. Just experience that it will happen. And it's so definite that it's as if you're experiencing it for real. So what we're doing essentially is creating a future memory for you, right? Most people think they can only remember the past.
Right.
But what if you can install stuff into your future and remember it now?
Okay.
So that comes back to that question that I asked you before, you know,
How do
having a
you
place
feel?
that you can retreat to, right?
Right.
That kind of unwinds all that, you know, garbage in your life, that you can just retreat to this space, reboot, reset, and that space is actually your future self. Because
Okay.
who has more invested in what you're going through right now than your future self?
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I'm going to set this up, Ariel. Do you want to do that that timeline technique on this?
I don't know exactly what your plan is for this one in particular. So, but
Well,
I
what I
feel
want you to, I'm going to set it up, and then, you know, the timeline technique where you take something and you place it in the future. Do you want to do that, or you want me to
yeah, you
do
can
something
go
else
ahead.
with this?
You can go ahead and do it. I mean, this is new to me. I'm just really enjoying learning it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. I just, you know, I didn't want to, you know, I want you to have an opportunity as well, but you'll, you know, you create so much other content that's great as well. So I appreciate that. And we also have some special news at the end of this. So stay tuned, stay to the very end.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is just take a moment and first of all, just start by breathing, right? Take a nice deep breath in, hold it for a moment. And then as you exhale, just allow your mind to clear and relax, right? And you're just putting yourself in a very neutral space, right? A space where perhaps you start to think about, if anything was possible, what would you want to create? Like, let's say you had this room that Disney created, and, you know, notice if you had a room that was a purely creative room, there was no worry about how practical or realistic the idea was, that it was just a space to just dream and come up with great ideas and be in touch with your core values and be aligned and authentic with the truest part of your essence of who you are in this world, and aligned with an even greater purpose, and realize who else is going to be affected when you start to live authentically with your dream and your vision and your purpose for your life. And like, what color would that room be? What shape would the room be? Where would it be located? Would it actually even be a room, or would it just be someplace in your mind or somewhere in the world that you could go to spontaneously, instantaneously, enjoyably, to make it the most wonderful experience of just being free to dream, right? Nothing else exists there except possibilities, endless possibilities, your possibilities. What's possible for you? What can you create? What can you enjoy? What can you live? How can you live your life in such a way that it's just like, wow, this is a great idea. That's a great idea. This is a great idea. The ideas just kind of flow to you. And the ideas are so vivid, so strong, that even if you don't capture it in the moment, they're not fleeting ideas. They become part of who you are. These ideas are so empowering to you that it just gives you this sanctuary that you can return to anytime, anywhere, no matter what's going on around you, whether it be for an instant in time or for hours on end. You can explore this wonderful space of creativity and notice its shape and its size and its color and how you feel when you're in this space, and maybe the sounds that you're hearing around you, maybe even the quiet or the stillness in your own inner essence of who you are. Your energy just becomes fully aligned with the energy of creativity, and you're vibrating on every level of creative flow in your life. And just notice that coming into this space is this wonderful calm, this wonderful sense of peace, contentment, And you might not even be sure why, but you just feel happy. You feel that love, that genuine love for yourself, for others, from others. You just surround yourself with this genuine love, this calm, peaceful, contented, genuine love where you're supported, and it just kind of rounds out everything in your life in such a way that you're perhaps more satisfied than you've ever felt, because you're just feeling this calm, peace, content, happiness. This inner love that just generates infinite possibilities. When you're coming from a place of love, and this love is surrounding you, and you're noticing the color of love and the feeling of love and the sound of love and the shape and texture of love in your life, and just get a taste of how deliciously wonderful this love is, that it makes anything possible. I mean, from this point of love, from this point of passion and compassion and contentment and inner happiness and external awareness of how just contented you are and satisfied you are with every aspect of your living authentic to your truest self, it makes anything and it makes everything possible for you. And you can return to this space anytime that you choose, anytime you need, and you can do it automatically, you can do it intentionally. You can even start to think about maybe a word that really defines this place for you. It might be one word, it might be three words, it might be calm and peace and love, it might be happy, it might be well-rounded, it might be just satisfied, it might be all of those, and it might be a totally different word than that. But whatever word it is, imagine looking way off in the distance and you recognize a sign, and written on that sign is this unique word, a word that you can see and say to yourself anytime you want to return to this wonderful state in your body, in your mind, just being in touch with this inner dreamer, this part of you that really defines anything and everything as possible, that it's all just an idea, it's pure creativity just flowing. You're in this flow and you just feel like you're this liquid flow of creativity, content and happy and satisfied, peace, calm, content, loving, loved, surrounded by this wonderful feeling, these wonderful colors, these wonderful peaceful sounds in your body, in your mind. It can be a physical space, or it could just be a place in your mind that you return to, and you can associate this to the word. So anytime you were to see this word or say this word to yourself, it can bring you back to this wonderful feeling in your body and in your mind, and it becomes a resource for you, a resource, a retreat, a place for you to return to remember the future that you're creating for yourself, to remember all the wonderful things that are part of your dream, part of your purpose for being in the world, part of the most authentic aspects of who you are, authentically aligned with a greater purpose for your life, and starting to notice how this energy expands and you just shine from all this love coming from within you and surrounding you. There's this wonderful glow of love and peace and contentment and happiness that people just want to be around you because it's almost contagious. And yet it comes from such a deep place inside of you. It's a retreat. It's a place that you can go to really remember your future. Remember the future that you're creating for yourself. Remember your vision. Remember your purpose in life. Remember who you are. Remember what's important to you. And just fully aligned with the dreamer within yourself. And this is all that exists. It's all that needs to exist. It's pure, wonderful, happy, loving, dreamer aspect of who you are. And anytime you were to say this word consciously or on some other than conscious level, you can return intentionally to this space, or you can return automatically to this space. You can do it while you're in the shower. You can do it while you're meditating, or you can just do it while you're sitting in a safe place and close your eyes for a minute and experience it for a couple of seconds to offset some negative things that might have been happening in your life. Or you can do it at a calm and peaceful time to enjoy hours on end of wonderful creative thoughts flowing into your ideas and into your mind and within you and throughout all aspects of who you are. So it not only affects you, but you start to think about how some of these dreams can affect the people that are genuinely in love with you and that you genuinely love, and it affects all the people around you, because you'll give off this aura of this wonderful energy that will not only attract the best quality of people into your life, the people that also give off this same vibration of aura, but you'll see the world in just that way, because you'll be viewing it from the perspective of the pure dreamer, that you will truly enter that space where anything and everything is possible and all ideas are creations, and you create it in a way that you can then find the best of these ideas, and at some later date you'll take them and see how realistic they are. But right now, everything is possible. Anything is possible with love, with contentment, with peace, with happiness, in the most well-rounded way for you and others in your life, to enjoy this most authentic, aligned, confident, loving version of yourself.
You're going to make me cry, Mark. Can I tell you what? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, share.
The image that I was getting, the word that stuck in my head when you were describing that place that I was going to feel those feelings, it was pastel marshmallows. I don't know why. But
Cool. See,
it was just,
but the whole thing is you weren't judging that.
Right.
You just allowed it to be pastel marshmallow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know why, but that just came back to that every time that I was in this room in California, because I guess I'm thinking, Disney, and I was in this room that was all pastel. It almost looked like a nursery.
So you see how you kind of morphed all of that together, right?
Maybe, yeah.
So, as long as those pastel marshmallows for you are calm and peaceful and content and happy and love, and it aligns with, the baby and having your career on track and having, your personal life and a partner that's, genuine love and support in your life, I can see how all that would be part of the pastel marshmallow. Of course.
I can too. Yeah.
So that's what this is about. So no matter what happens in your life, no matter what your mother says or anyone else for that matter, hey, does this fit with the pastel marshmallow? Does this support my pastel marshmallows or not? And you can even laugh at how silly that sounds, because it kind of is, but
it is, but it works. It'll break up the tension.
Touch of silliness in it, right?
Exactly. I got to test this out. I got to go to my parents' house tomorrow.
Cool. So can you see that this would be useful for you? Is this a good tool?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think for everybody. I think for everybody, not just me. I think everyone in the world needs this.
Right. So this is what it's like to align with your vision authentically, right?
Right.
And really, all the tools that I use in this to create that is hypnosis, NLP, and success coaching.
Okay.
It's guiding you through those processes, which I call relax, envision, succeed. So if you look at it, relax is the hypnosis, which kind of clears that chatter in your mind and gets you in a more focused state where you can focus on one idea at a time. Then NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, which I'm going to give Ariel some time to explain the bonus offer that we have today. Okay, but
Okay.
NLP is a tool that you can use to imagine and create a future and kind of unwind negative beliefs and distractions in your life and create your life to be exactly how you want it to be by either modeling a version of excellence that exists or creating a version of excellence that you want to live into. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then the coaching is just really keeping you on track, keeping you accountable for that. And it's more the realist part where you say, okay, so I've got this great and wonderful dream. I've cleared the chatter. I've got that inner critic giving me protection and aligning me with my truest intent. And it's got the same intention for me. So if this is possible, what's the first thing I need to do? What's the second thing I need to do? What's the next thing I need to do? And the coach or the coaching within yourself and even external, hiring a coach is going to help to keep you on track with taking the action that manifests that dream into reality, right? Because let's face it, you know, you could sit in a room by yourself meditating all day and, you know, I've taught enough birthing classes to pretty much guarantee you won't get pregnant that way. Unless someone's there with you, you know.
That's right.
So you need to take some sort of
unless
action.
you're giving birth to Jesus Christ.
you need to meet, you need to meet that person and then create a relationship and have that genuine love. And then when you create a baby from that space, it's magical.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then you have the support to get your career on track, and it all just aligns for you at the same time. And, you know, there's a lot of careers that you can do, that you can set up before having a baby, that can carry through, that you can do while having a baby, you know?
Right.
There are things you can do now on, you know, online. You know, we're teaching this class online. So if I had a baby right now, the baby could be sleeping in the other room and I teach this class, and this is part of my career.
Correct. It would be more conducive. Yeah.
So I want to give Ariel a solid 10 minutes, and I'll chime in a little bit, but Ariel's an amazing NLP trainer. She's a hypnotherapist. She's got Chinese energy medicine healing technique. She can guarantee people pain relief. She does like, she's like a wizard. Wow. It's like really, really
That's
cool.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
You know? And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to have her as a partner in this class. And, you know, I know I taught most of the content in this class, but there are classes where she teaches most of the content, and we support each other. And I really am honored to have her here and totally support the offer that she's going to give anyone listening and watching this today.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
I love this process. The dream room is so great. I really enjoyed it. And
cool. I'm glad.
Yeah, your voice, very hypnotic. And I feel like it's important for everyone to find a space where, you know, it feels safe, and then you can, you know, create where you really want to feel, where you want your future to be. Because sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. I guess the more successful you are, I guess like there's a tendency like we're so hard on ourselves, and then sometimes we forget about, you know, how amazing we are, and really how do we create the future? We don't create the future from the past. It's not about this year I'm going to be 10% better than last year. Yes, you can do that as one approach, but really this dream room let us have a space where we can create a future from the future. It's more about where do I want to be a year from now? Where do I want to be 10 years from now? And then I look back to now, and then so I decide what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Like you see, there's a difference between that, right? So what NLP and hypnosis really does is to like break the mental box, break the mental boundaries of people, like take people out of their comfort zone, and then really show them a world where they never dreamed of before, they never knew that exists before. Like get them in touch with the self that they didn't know they had, but is always there, which is their authentic self, which is the self of this unlimited resources and power. And I guess that's what I love about NLP and hypnosis and timeline therapy and all the techniques along the way, it really brings people like closer to their authentic self. And it is the most powerful ways, like very tangible, like you can, you know, get rid of limiting beliefs, negative emotions, release traumas in the past, any relationship issues you have with your parents, your friends, getting a promotion in your career, double your income, lose 10 pounds, stop smoking, stop physical pain, chronic pain, or manifest a boyfriend, a relationship, a baby. It's all possible to us. But you know, the reality is most people don't know really how to do it. We're born with the blueprint, the perfect blueprint for us, but unfortunately it's not a very well-known knowledge. It's not a mathematical equation like 1 + 1 = 2. It's not as well known as that yet. So until NLP and hypnosis and mind-body connection, all of that is as well known to everyone. Until then, we still have a mission, you know, to teach as many people as possible, to you know, pass along the knowledge, this more you know, esoteric knowledge, but it's also very true to people, so everyone can enjoy the benefit. That being said, we have a practitioner training coming up in January 22nd. I'm going to share my screen here. It's 22nd to 26th, and that's in Los Angeles. And Mark is also teaching a hypnosis piece, which is he's going to teach online, so you can learn that from the comfort of your home. It's February 3rd to February 7th. It's a week long. And in an NLP practitioner, you don't have to come for the certification. If you do come for the certification, you'll be able to see clients. You know, if you want to be a coach, helping people, helping your friends, families, you can do that. You'll be certified. And usually, you know, the market price is, you know, 6,000, 7,000, something like that. And now, because you're watching this, it's only $3,995. And we're also offering a discount, which is $3,995. If you're not like, you know, with VIP, you get front row seating, you get, you know, 3 coaching sessions with us. If you're not looking for that, you're just looking for something simple, we have a 2-for-1 offer, which is really exciting. It's also $3,995, but you can bring another person with you for free, basically 2-for-1. And for people who are not interested in getting certified, they're just interested in the knowledge and then, you know, maybe help themselves. It's just come for the education is only $1,995, which is extremely good price and very good offer. And if you're interested in the online, the hypnosis part, it's usually, you know, $1,200, $195, and now we're doing it for only $195. And
so based on the results that you told me this week, Ariel, I want you to boast a little bit and share what the possibilities are so that people can understand the value of this, right? Right. You told me you had a couple of clients this week that you know, paid a little bit more than the average therapist for a session with you, right?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, so my session, my price is personal coaching is $1,000 a session. And really, if you're getting the NLP certification, you get 3 sessions with me. That's already $3,000 worth of value. And what happened in the session is very magical. Like basically people see magic, you know, 20 years chronic pain release within the session, like disappear completely. Or trauma in the past, phobia in the past, one session just completely gone. Like, you know, because of the technology we use is so powerful. It's not about the time. It's not about, you know, the money is more about just getting the latest technology. And then think about how fast we can, you know, text each other nowadays. It's not possible 20 years ago. And in the psychological, you know, psychotherapy field, there's also this new technology. You don't have to go through therapy for 20 years, for 30 years. No, you don't have to. It just, but this is more, it's still a small group of people. Like it is more advanced, more latest. So most people don't know about it. But if you do come to experience that, you will see for yourself, basically. And I have the link here. And then the code, if you use the scholarship 2020, you get another $1,000 off. Out of all the price, you get another $1,000 off for the NLP. So if you just come for the education, it's only gonna be $995. Yeah, it's really good.
Wow.
And 2 for 1 is
I
only
think that's a third
$295.
of what I paid back in 1995.
Yeah, yes. I'm making it more affordable. Like I'm just here to serve because I feel there's a mission here, and I'm really doing my best to make it most affordable to people, so people, you know, you guys can come experience the magic. And for any reason, we also offer payment plans. If you know you have, you know, anything happen to you, you can pay the full thing. We offer payment plans, but you don't get a discount, so that's a trade-off. And if for any reason you don't like it, you come participate 5 days. You know, you don't see any. If for any reason you don't see any breakthrough, you don't see any change, you don't experience any magic, you know, any transformation, you don't experience any positive influence in your life, we'll give you money back, guaranteed. No question asked. We'll give you money back. You can come experience. If you don't see any value, then yeah, just come ask us, we'll give you money back, no question asked. But you have to play full out. You have to attend all the 5 days of training. And if you honestly feel like there's no results, okay, well, tried it, and then risks on us, you have your money back. So
here's a cool thing that I see also, Ariel, is that through the power of accelerated learning and how you've shaped this class, my original class was 8 weekends. Right? So it was over like 16 days plus, and it was 1 weekend a month. So it took 8 months from this time I started learning till I was actually certified in NLP practitioner level. And you've condensed all that into 5 days, plus you've added stuff in, plus you're learning it quickly and you can start to use it right away. So from start to finish, it can all be done within 1 week. That blows my mind to just think about that. It's an amazing concept, and at a price that's less than what I paid, and it's taught more efficiently, where it's almost installed on a certain level where you walk away with these skills and you can charge enough money to make that back with, you know, even if you start off at a lower rate, you could make that back within a couple of months of just doing sessions with people while you're learning how to get better at it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, Mark. So as we know, everything is getting quicker and quicker. You know, internet is so powerful. Like information are exchanged so much faster than, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Our learning is also becoming like faster. The super learning environment we call it actionable intelligence. So whatever we teach you right away, we put you to work. You can install everything you learn about NLP inside your unconscious. So in the future, you don't need to actually review it. It'll just be available to you in your unconscious. And then we do teach very differently than, you know, traditional college or school. That's why we can get you the certificate within 5 days. It's the latest technology for teaching, for transformation. And if you do pursue the certification, you will be able to start seeing clients. You know, the thing you learn is so valuable comparing to traditional, you know, psychotherapists. They went through school for 8 years, but the whole thing is they didn't learn this technique. They learn about how to categorize people. They learn about how to label people, but they don't learn how to change. They don't know how to do interventions. They know how to label you as, you know, depression, anxiety disorder, PTSD. They know how to do that, but go to them, they're like, I want to change, I want to release it. And guess what? They're never trained in this. And you will be having this amazing toolkit that most therapists doesn't have. And that's how you can go out and you can start seeing clients feeling really good about it. And I guess you can start by charging as around the same as therapists, like maybe $100 an hour, $150 an hour. That's very safe. And once you get a taste of how powerful this is, you know, you can bump up your price, you know, charge like 200, 300, 500, even 1,000. Like, you know, it's very, very doable. It's just really based on, you know, what your career is. Some people do this for themselves. Some people do this for their friends and families. Some people do this as a part-time job, you know, roll in a few thousand a month as a, you know, side income. Or some people switch their career and then they pursue this full time, because you can totally just sit in your living room and then seeing clients, online, or if you prefer seeing them in person, but you can create your own schedule, create your own lifestyle, and then helping people live a fulfilled life at the same time.
Right. And the value of it that I've discovered is that you're not trading your time for money, in that you're not charging per hour or even charging per session. The value in it is that you get results for these people that you're working with, and they might have to go to therapy for years and still not even get rid of an issue, whereas in 1 or 2 or maybe 3 sessions you can transform them, have a breakthrough with them, get over the issue, to not just survive a trauma that they went through, but to begin to thrive in areas of their life, like that installation process we just did of creating your future. These are things that transform people's lives in a way that you can't even put a price on that for them. So whatever you charge them, it's the value of the service that you're offering them. And that's what I love about this field, is that there's no set price per hour of what you're charging. You're charging for the results that they get, and they're, like you said, actionable learning. So you're learning techniques, you're learning tools that you can start to use, start to implement. First and foremost, you learn them on yourself, right? One of the biggest transformations that I made from learning NLP was I used to be shy. I could never imagine teaching in front of a group of people, and I've taught in a room with thousands of people, and I was very comfortable and secure, and I never would have been able to do that had I not learned NLP and gotten over my limiting beliefs and all that. So the first and foremost, you transform yourself, and then you get the opportunity to help others, and then you can transform, major aspects of the whole world around you just by the changes that you made within yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just want to make more money. Let's be real. Some people just want to make more money. And what it does, you can either go in coaching, or you can transform your belief, like about self-worth, and then people double, triple, 10 times their income, like with this skills. And all our leaders know about it and they use it. Obama, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, like Tiger Woods, like Michael Jordan, they all use this technique, NLP. Just they don't tell you about it. I mean, the people go far in life, they're using the technique, and it's really, we teach you the tools, and how you use it, how you put it together is up to you. But the tools, it's available to everyone. Like, come to the training. We'll share with you the knowledge. And there are 2 types of capital, right? One type of capital is called intellectual capital, and another type of capital is called financial capital, right? People usually, they know about financial capital. You go invest, buying a house, that's a financial capital investment. You can, buy whatever, buy cars, buy a bag, buy shoes, whatever. That's financial capital, right? And what happened when the economy goes down, right? Your financial capital is not very safe. Anything happen, maybe, nature disaster, war, you're free from it. But in case something happened, your financial capital will just be gone. Like, it's not safe, it's not permanent, it's not forever. It's just very unstable, actually. But intellectual capital is something else. If you put your investment into yourself, which is your intellect, your body, your health, your brain, like your knowledge, those are the things, no matter what happened in the world, nobody can take away from you. Nobody can take away from you. Like economy crash, nature disaster, doesn't matter. Nobody can take away from you. And if you have intellectual capital, you can always transform that back to financial capital. But now the other way around. When you have intellectual capital, it's about who you are, and becoming more, you can always manifesting into more into your physical world with, in terms of money, resources, friends, social class, fame, whatever you want to have in life. If you invest in yourself, you will see the return.
So Ariel, for someone who's interested and excited in this, you're going to leave this offer up forever, right?
Oh, I wish I can. The class is January 22nd, and I only want people who actually is ready to change, who's ready to take actions. because
Right.
procrastination.
So what action do they need to take to make this happen?
They need to click the link on Eventbrite. I have a link, or email me so they can get this offer. This offer is limited for another 24 hours from the time you see watch this video until 24 hours. I'll hold on for you. And yeah, think about what you want in your life and make a decision, because by not making a decision, you're also making a decision by staying the same. And
Right.
by actually making a decision, which is you're focusing on action, you're moving forward, and you actually take a leap of faith and then just click and then just invest in yourself, invest in your intellectual capital, invest in who you are, and then see the change yourself and make a decision. And you know what? If come to the class after 5 days, you don't like it, for some reason didn't work for you, your money back. No question asked. We really want you to make a decision for yourself, because time is passing by, time is not coming back. And then the people who make the decision, who take actions, are the ones who run ahead of in life, who gets a promotion, who lose that weight, who gets a relationship, who you know, give birth to the baby, like whatever, but make a decision.
Right. I love that. I mean, I watched Russell Brunson the other day, who created a company called ClickFunnels, and his coaching philosophy is very simple. It's listen, do, succeed, right? So we've listened here. The do is to sign up, you know, to jump in and do it, learn it, right? And then you will succeed. This program is designed to help you to succeed. And I can't think of anyone that would be better to learn this from than Ariel, to connect with her. If you resonate with what we taught tonight, if you want to learn more about this, Ariel's going to be teaching the NLP part. I might chime in on parts of that supplementally online, but for sure I'm going to be doing the hypnosis part. They're two separate entities. You can sign up for one or both of them. I don't know if do you have a package if they do both of them, or is it just individual packages for them?
So if you come for NLP certification class, either you be the VIP, get a coaching session with me, or you do a 2-for-1. Both of them with a discount is only $2,995, and then you get a hypnosis part complimentary for free. And if you come for the just NLP education only, which is $995, really good price. You just need to pay the $195 for the online hypnosis. And we guarantee results. You know, for any reason you don't like any of that, we'll give you money back, no question asked. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think we're out of time for tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you taking the NLP training, transforming yourself, and transforming the world around you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Any questions or comments or things that you'd like us to know?
I'd just like to say thank you, Mark and Ariel, for your time. This is very interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you. And
thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Okay. Yeah, come back next week. Bring friends.
I will.
the more the
Thanks,
better.
Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to do that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Feel good. Have a great day. Have fun playing with that. And send me an email and I'll send you the link to the other parts.
Or maybe I'll see you in class. Then I'll let you know the results.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Everybody. See you soon.
Bye. Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.